Okay. Hi everyone. So this is a uh, another Tarcy Talk stream, and well, to be honest, already kind of running out of ideas for the at least for the coding section and the coding. So again, Tarcy Talks was conceptualized as a feedback tool for my class and also as student support. So the idea was that I would talk about things that I would find interesting about the submissions given to me and talk about them, or maybe coding practices that uh, might be useful in my class, things that can be directly applied, uh, so that I can sort of justify, even though I call this low effort, there is still some effort put into it. So I try to justify that by saying, okay, so this additional feedback for the students, and I want to be able to provide that to the students. And as a bonus, let's also provide some, I suppose, entertainment in a certain sense. I think most of you people view the discussions between me and Sir Q as entertainment. At the same time, we try to make it meaningful, try to touch on some meaningful topics. But so anyway, so what I was saying is that I'm kind of running out of material for the coding section. I mean, there are still quite a bit that I notice, but given the nature of the problems, they are quite repetitive at times, and maybe not as worthwhile to watch during the stream. So I'm worried that I might be reduced to just the talking portion, which kind of less removes my justification for putting this much effort. So why am I? Why are we doing a talk show when there's so much work to be done? So I can justify this because it's feedback. But anyway, we'll get to that when you know. So let's see. Hi Jojo. Morning newscast version. I mean, morning newscast. Well, we work in the morning, so honestly, there's not really. I suppose the best we can do is have reruns in the morning if you want, but that's not something that's we're planning right now. Even finding a common schedule between me and my brother, it's already quite challenging. So there's that. Okay, so still, I'll try to see what coding stuff I can still discuss. I still have, I think, two, ano, two, three interesting things I think I can discuss aside from the things that I find in the submissions that I receive. Tarcy log was never meant to be. Well, I mean, maybe not. Let's see. What else? So later we'll have a guest in the talking portion. So maybe you've seen Sir Q's tweet and have already guessed who it is. And we'll be discussing something that I think you guys in chat, all six of you, will be able to sort of weigh in on. So I hope you'll participate. And then let's see what else. Okay, I think that's it. I'll get into the coding portion and see what we can discuss. So this today's coding portion is going to be a lot more on how to learn, and I'll probably tell also a few stories about myself in terms of my background in coding in computer science, because as some of you know, I don't really have a background in computer science. My background is actually physics. Let me just really check really quick if we have some additional questions coming in. So, okay, just to answer one question, because we probably won't be able to answer it later. So, not exactly school life, but how important is it to reconnect with siblings despite being busy with schoolwork? Okay, so I suppose that's a question directed to me and Joshua. To be honest, I wouldn't say Joshua and I are distant, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I could call us close. Uh, I'm not sure if we could, me and my siblings, uh, could be called close, because I look at other siblings and see that, oh, they mess around with each other and all these other uh, us siblings. So that there's me, Joshua, well, Joshua first, and me, Nathan, and Luke. So the four of us, um, we we don't fight like other siblings. I suppose that's why people think that we get along. But at the same time, we're not as involved with each other. We actually only really got more involved with each other once we started working. Once we started working beside, so we had to work together and all these things. But at the same time, when it comes to, we don't really fight. Uh, so I don't know. I couldn't really call us close, but not we're not exactly distant. But okay, reconnecting with siblings is, I wouldn't say that you have to, but at the same time, if you can, it's definitely, it's like having another friend that you can talk to at home all the time. So I suppose reconnecting with a sibling would be the same as reconnecting with a friend. That you look for things that you like in common, that you try to spend more time together consciously. One thing that I liked about when I was still staying with my parents, uh, again, I wouldn't really call me and my brothers close, but we do have certain things that uh, provide that connection. So we don't exactly talk about personal things. So if you watch the last stream, Joshua was saying that he didn't know about my quote unquote uh, past history with other people. But even though we don't talk, we still have our bonding moments. So I remember there was this period of time during I was in college. So Nathan and I were in college. Again, we don't talk. We don't really talk about personal stuff. But we had this thing where whenever the two of us were in the living room together, one of us would turn on the PlayStation, and then we'd go 10 rounds of Marvel versus Capcom, and I'd lose 9-1. And that was it was consistent every time that we were together, at least once a day. 10 rounds Marvel vs. Capcom, uh, with hardly a word passed between us. So we just turn it PC on, toss the controller to the other person, and then 9 rounds. Sorry, 10 rounds, yeah, which I'd lose a majority of. So yeah, just bonding is nice, no matter what the activity is. Okay, so let's go to coding. So let me just switch to the workspace capture. Okay, not that one. Let me. Okay, and let me. Okay, so oops, can I? Okay, there we go. So here we have a project. So those who are taking my CS4 classes right now, this should be familiar. I'm making a PSI simulator. And here we have basically a list of items. And what I want to discuss is basically the kind of thinking that goes on when you're creating a project. And you kind of have to keep in mind that computers or programming in general, they were made to make the more troublesome processes. So, quick backstory, or not really backstory, example. So, this was around 2016. I was teaching grade 9 web dev to batch 2020. And I was pretty much, I was teaching 5 sections, I think. Yeah, 5 sections. And we were using Edmodo at the time. And the problem with Edmodo was that you had to individually download the different files of each student. So 30 students per section times 5. So that's 150 assignments that I need to download. If there are additional files, that's multiplied by that. So obviously, that's a very tedious process. And then, so what we did, or rather, at a certain point, I decided enough was enough. I hated spending the entire day just sitting down and clicking download, 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 renaming the file if I have to, and all of these other things. So I wrote a script. I wrote a script that would automatically download all of these things. But the thing is, I was not very proficient in web development programming. So I had to, again, the thought process was, okay, what, as a person who is interacting with the computer, with the browser, how do I go about downloading things? So I click this button here, which will download the file. And then I click on the side panel here, which will select a new student. And then I click on this, and so on and so forth. So with that in mind, I wrote a script that it wasn't pretty. It was very it was very rough. So what I did was something that would simulate a click on that download button, and then I would use JavaScript also to display the next student using JavaScript, which would reveal the new download button, and then it would repeat the process, and so it would also rename the files appropriately. So it would look at this header information and see that the name is there, provided in this span element in HTML, and it would get that information and then use that for a file name. So as you can see, I didn't just blindly try to look up different pieces of code that would, okay, so how do I don't go to Google and search how do I download files automatically. No, so I broke down the processes first and then tried to figure out what was going on. So what is actually something I noticed with recent submissions is that, for example, for those who were my students before, we did a kind of searching tool. So here in item.java, I have an array list of items, and I have a getter for that. So what's one of the exercises that we do is to search for a particular item. So we do that by using a for loop. So for, and then what we're going to do is we're going to loop over for every item I inside item dot get item list. So that will allow us to loop over all the items, and then we're going to search for a particular item. So let's provide a string search is equal to let's say pair. So we know that exists because we can see the code, but assuming a graphical user interface, that doesn't happen. So you try to think, what's the process? What is the process of finding out whether or not this item exists in the list? So try to imagine that you have a box that is segmented. You can go or a row of drawers. You open the first drawer, you find biscuits. So that's not the one that you want. Close it, open the next drawer, it's bread, close it, and so on and so forth. So, and you see that's the process. And it's only when you get to the end that you determine that the item does not exist inside the list. So from there, okay, what do we know? We know we're searching for something, and we know that we'll only determine that the item does not exist inside the list if we reach the end, which means we're going to need to check something after the loop, which is something that whenever I give this exercise is frequently forgotten. Because just to demonstrate what some people do, so they do an if statement and then they check the item I, and what they do is they get the name of this particular item I. So again, this for loop basically loops over all of these items. So I'm opening the first drawer, I look at it, I get the name, and it says when I get the name, it gives me biscuits, and it's not pear. So okay, let me just put here dot equals search. Okay, so if it's equals, then definitely you found it. So we can put here found. Now here comes the problem. Because we see the if statement, so when people see an if statement, they try to think of, okay, what happens if that doesn't happen? Or what is the else statement? So if the if statement is true, then the else statement is, no, or rather, if the if statement is true, it was found. If it's not true, it was not found. So what a lot of people do is that they put the else, and then they say, so else system.out.println not found. And it's technically true. So the person opened the drawer and okay, I didn't find the thing. Goes and so on and so forth. It's just that, again, keep in mind that we're looking across the entire list, and that we're only going to announce that we didn't find it until we've actually covered every item. And we only cover every item after the for loop ends. So this is not a good place to put this. So what we're going to do, rather what we need is, after loop, we need to check whether or not we encountered this statement. Whether or not at a certain point, the search, the equal statement became true. So that means we're going to need a Boolean value. Boolean is present equal to false. So if the name of the item equals the search term, then I can say that is present is equal to true. And then, in fact, after that point, I can even break the statement. So break the loop. And then I can make the decision, is this item present or not, after the loop ends. So after I've checked all the drawers, or after I've stopped searching because I found it, I ask. So I ask the program, okay, so is the item present? So I ask if is present. Again, if you have a Boolean term, you can just leave it as is. No need to do the is equal to true. So, I mean, it'll still work, but this is a lot cleaner. So if it's present, then definitely. So system.out.println and found. And else system.out.println not found. So if we do something like this, so if I try to search pair and I run this, hopefully this doesn't cause any problems with the rest of the files. Okay, so it's found if I put there something like a pair. If I try to run this again, so it's not found. Now, if I had not done this, and I put here an else statement saying this, so what's going to happen? Every time that I open a drawer and it's not there, I'm basically shouting out not found, not found, not found, opening a drawer, not found, and so on and so forth. So normally you don't need that. But rather what the user wants is that once you've searched the entire thing, that's the only time that you tell the user that it hasn't been found. Try to imagine, okay, going to an office asking for a particular document, and then the secretary or the the attendant there at the desk, so you tell them that you're looking for a particular document, and then she goes through her file drawer saying not found, not found, not found, not found. So obviously you don't want that. You just want her to him or her to go through the entire thing, and then if she can't find it, okay, that's when you tell me. And if he or she finds it, then you then okay, what do you do with that information? So the point of this is try to go through the mental process of how would I actually do this if this were a physical thing. So if I were physically looking for an item, when do I announce that it's not found? When do I announce that it's found? Or a lot of other things. So for my CS4 students right now, you're trying to make your project. So if all of these classes and objects that you're making were actually physical entities that are interacting with each other, so when does a particular thing happen, or how does this particular interaction occur? And if you try to imagine how it actually occurs in real life, it will help with the streamlining of the code and how to facilitate that particular interaction. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to discuss, and this will actually be helpful for those who were my students that I'm talking about, grade 11 students, grade 12 students who are going to research, how to actually implement code that you have no idea what it does. Oh, hi, Suyo. Okay, so how do we implement code that we have no idea how it works? Basically, you're given a template file and then, okay, you're asked to do something with it. How do we work with that? And I can relate to this a lot because, again, my background is physics. So I had to learn comp sci mostly on my own. And I can say that the reason why I started to get a lot more comfortable with comp sci is because I made a lot of mistakes at the start. And I'll also admit that I learned a lot while teaching because it exposed me to a lot of different ways to do things and to not do things. So I always like to think that when you make a mistake, you learn, or rather, when you do things right the first time, you learn how to do it. So you learn one thing. But if you make a mistake and correct it, you learn two things. You learn one way not to do it, possibly more, in the way of fixing it. So you try to fix it, you learn another way not to do it, third way not to do it, and so on and so forth. And then, so yeah, making mistakes is actually pretty helpful. You learn a lot more things. And teaching for 5 years comp sci, I've been exposed to a lot of things that would not work. No offense to my previous students. It's natural to make mistakes. I make a lot of them too. Okay, so so what I wanted to talk about was how do we go about getting to know code that we don't actually know. Because Java, or if you're trying to dive into app development and all of these other things, it's very hard to encounter a small project. For example, if you want to make your very first mobile app, there's a lot involved that it's overwhelming. And even a simple Java application with a very simple graphical user interface can be pretty extensive in terms of files. And there's a lot of things that we just assume that we know and take it for granted. So how do we actually go about learning more about it? So I'll use an example. I had this class before. Okay, so so this is, hang on, I can't see it on my screen. Let me just, okay, there you go. So this is Jupyter Notebook. It's a tool that that I've been using to run some code, to run Python code. A lot of data scientists use it. And the thing is, I experienced a lot of learning. Even only last year, I was learning a lot. Okay. Okay. So here is some code that we were asked to review, and the first time I saw this, I had no idea what it meant. I mean, we were given the general overview, and then we were just given the code. Okay, run this, and then try it out. And okay, so how do I actually go about doing this? So for those who are trying to actually do something new with their code, or trying to learn more about programming and trying to implement code that they've never encountered before, my recommendation would be to find a template first. So this one, it was given to us in one of my classes. So all I had to do was run it. And so this is, just to give context, this is the Titanic dataset. The idea was to find any correlation between data and see if any of the data would allow us to predict if a passenger would survive. So it's machine learning. So various information was gotten from the Titanic dataset. So passenger class, their name, sex, age, ticket, fare, cabin, and so on and so forth. So all of that data was collected, and they tried to figure out, okay, so given all of this information, would I be able to predict if a passenger survived? So it's a machine learning problem. And I had no idea how to run machine learning when I started this class. So when it comes to you guys, when you're going to try to learn code, again, try to start out with a template file. So my goal here was just to click run and see if everything ran without error. Because sometimes there would be errors and it's a problem with your system. It's a problem with your computer. So I'm sure some of you also experienced that. Some of my students, since we're not using the school computers anymore, that we properly set up and install all of the needed files, all of the needed applications so that it runs properly. So since we're trying to run it on our own devices, this is actually a pretty important step. You want to make sure that the very basic thing, the very basic file, works on its own and produces the same results. So once you get through all of this, you kind of come up to a result. So okay, the model that was created from all of this data is 79% accurate, and so on and so forth. So now that I have a working program, even though it was copy pasted pretty much, which is why I'm not actually really against copy pasting. You just have to know what you're copy pasting. Okay, so once I did that, it was time to customize it. And you start by, okay, so can I manipulate the data that is put in? For example, I have all of this information. Can I remove things that some data? Can I add data? And we actually see that there are already parts in this program that we can use. So for example, the name was removed because name is irrelevant in terms of figuring out if a passenger survived. So we see that certain data points were dropped. And so I can actually use that code. So this train.csv, that's the data. I can insert my own CSV file. And then, okay, so how did they drop the name? And I try to look for that particular way that they dropped that particular data. And so on and so forth. So it's a modular process by which you slowly transform the template code into something that you need. So some of you might have seen the tweet of my brother, Sir Q. So I applied machine learning to, how do I describe it? As a monitoring tool for online learning, to check whether the color of your monitor matched the color being reflected on your face. It was a very invasive tool that I honestly had no real intention of making public, pero it was an interesting research. So my goal was that I have RGB values from the screen. That would be my data. RGB values from the reflected, from the reflected light from the person's face, and then it would perform the machine learning from there. So if I were to, so here is my, let me zoom in so that you can see. So here are a lot of the files that I made. So for example, I made this code to see, record face values, uh, simulation exercise, determine accuracy, detect mismatch. When was that again? I forget. This was only a few months ago, but I'm already forgetting. Okay, so I think it was match and rearrange data. Okay, so the idea was that I have a CSV file which contained the RGB values of the record display. So here I have that. So on the monitor I had white based on the RGB values and so on and so forth. And then reflection, so I reflected it off a towel. And then these are the reflected values, RGB. And then I can combine them. So it was a very, I mean, obviously you're seeing the work past it was done. But when it comes to exploring code, my suggestion would be that you look for a code that already works, that already has sample data. I would recommend, especially for those who are doing research, I recommend that you check the articles on Towards Data Science. There are a lot of um, tutorial articles there that already have the code, that already have the data, and you can simply run it as it is and just compare, okay, am I producing the same results as this article? Then you can simply replace the data and so on and so forth. So just doing that will already get you quite far in terms of exploring new applications. And the rest is figuring out what to search. Oh, it's already 8:32, so that took up a lot more time than I thought. So the idea is when searching for code, try to be as widen the search first. So try not to search your specific problem, but rather search the ideas behind your problem. And then once you've figured out the proper keywords that you need to use, because sometimes that's a big problem, you don't know the thing enough to know the keywords that you're searching for. So once you've gotten the idea, then you slowly start narrowing it down. Okay, so just call, so that's it for the coding part. Let me just switch back. Let's see if we can call and our guest. Hang on, where's that? Okay. Better be ready. I told them 8:25. Okay, so the guest is there and Sir Q wala pa. Okay. Okay, there we go. So let me just switch scenes. Hopefully this still works. Okay, there we go. Ash, crap. Hang on.
Oh, cool. It works.
A time? I don't
wait.
remember him saying a time yesterday.
We didn't talk about the time, pero I asked him kanina.
Really?
And then he said 8:25.
Wow, I
There we
wasn't
go.
informed.
Okay, so hang on. My chat freeze again.
Chat on YouTube? No, it's still on.
No, I'm talking more about my screen. So yeah, it's frozen again. So I'm going to just read chat through my phone, and you guys can also update me on what chat says. Okay, so we've invited Ma'am Edlen. Yay!
Ay.
That was the reveal? Grabe. I thought we had a production and everything.
Ay, kasi naman, exception, kailangan ng reveal, but kailangan.
We were gonna say like, weren't we gonna sing "Be Our Guest"?
Wow!
And then,
Sayang! Can we redo it na may grand entrance?
oh, wala eh.
No.
That's sayang eh. Maybe on the next guest na.
Pwede pa
Okay.
naman kumanta si Mark ngayon.
Oh boy. Okay.
So-
See, hang on. I'm trying to fix things, but my computer is really lagging. Anyway, OBS it doesn't seem to be lagging, and YouTube isn't, so it should be okay, I think. Okay, so we invited Ma'am Edlen just to add variety because I suppose Josh and I can only talk about so many things on our own. And
Fair enough.
and we were trying to figure out, okay, so we're bringing in Ma'am Edlen, and what is a topic that we can properly talk about. And I'm not sure you guys realize, you guys in chat, and students who will watch this in the future, but teachers talk, and we talk a lot behind the scenes. So this kind of giving you a preview of what we talk about.
What do we talk about? We talk about the latest stocks, the in-how on health, politics.
Wow,
This is-
yeah.
No, we don't. What
Baka
do
kayo
we
sa
talk?
sayo ng pinag-uusapan niyo.
Not so much, no naman. First things first, aren't we going to run our ads? Like, I've got the script ready. Did you?
Why do we have ads?
We have
Kasi like, I would like to thank our sponsors, ganon.
Yeah, we do.
Sige, who are your
Oh.
sponsors?
Do you feel tired?
What?
Your script. Open your script. I sent the script.
Look at that.
Oh, that was antivirus. No, not that one. Whatever. So this is the portion. Should you have any interest in funding in our venture, we will insert your ad here. Oh, also, we realized that most of the viewers aren't subscribed yet. Therefore, don't most YouTube videos start with that nowadays?
Ang dami.
I think-
Tapos magpo-point si Mark somewhere, no? Click here to subscribe now.
So here we are. We're trying out to become YouTubers. Are we trying to be YouTubers? No,
Not
that wasn't our
really.
intention.
Okay.
So, Edlen, what do you talk about? What do we talk about when we're in school?
Okay, actually, let me just give it straight kasi that's very unnatural segue into it. Alright, so I was thinking, and I brought it up with Edlen and Joshua, and we decided, okay, let's talk about something that can be kind of fun to listen to, depending on your stance.
I like the definition of the descriptor. Fun. This is going to be fun.
I mean, controversial maybe, or so we're going to talk about pet peeves, and to better suit it to the audience, we're going to talk about it in two ways. So obviously, the three of us are teachers in Pisay, so school context. So we're going to talk about first what we think might be student pet peeves, which honestly, these are probably things we still have. Kasi Joshua and I are attending classes, and even though Edlen is finished with most of her classes, I'm sure she has a lot of peeves.
I'm still technically a student. And yes, I have a lot of pet peeves.
So we can talk about first pet peeves that students have with regards to their teachers. And in the latter half, we'll talk about the pet peeves of teachers when it comes to their students.
Hey, how come on YouTube I look choppy?
I think it's because my computer is slowing down. So I'm
But it's
trying.
freezing and unnatural itsura.
I'm trying to close stuff, but it won't let me because.
Fine.
Okay. So is Joshua freezing? Yeah, Joshua's also freezing. Ako lang smooth, no?
Yeah, ikaw lang yung gumagalaw. And
No.
actually, nawala na yun. Anyway.
Wait, Nola?
Sorry, that was me. I think Luke mentioned that I think my mic was weird. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about pet peeves. We're going to try to second guess our students on trying to figure out what they feel pet peeved about on their teachers. Is that right? How would you phrase that?
What,
I
How they
mean,
pet peeve their
why don't you just say what they don't like or what
yeah.
annoys them? Diretso na. So, what
Ooh,
possibly happens?
surprise quizzes. I think that's one of them. Do we do surprise quizzes? Do you do surprise quizzes?
No, I
not
don't.
really, no.
No. In general kasi, I don't do anything that nung nainis, like nung student ako, madalas akong mainis sa stuff. So anything that annoyed me as a student, I also don't like doing it as a teacher kasi baka mainis din yung students. So, no surprises, no unannounced whatevers. Sana. I try. So,
That's true. I think one of the things that makes us different kinds of teachers is that we are students too as well. We're taking our masters and we kind of know what we hate because what we know what we don't want from teachers is actually times 10 in masters. Am I right?
Guys, can we pause for a bit? Because I think I reached the limit of what my computer can handle. Hang on. Can you? Is the YouTube still going on? I can't really check properly from my phone.
hold on, I'm checking. It's kind of, I don't know where it is right now.
Yun nga eh. I think it's lagging because of the load on the computer. Hang on, let me try
Parang
close.
parang matagal.
Let me try closing a bunch of stuff on my computer and see if I can get it. I think it's
Oh,
Eh, di
wait,
ba kung hindi na lang yun yung topic natin ngayon habang nandiyan si Mark?
are we live? Baka may narinig.
Still live?
hang on. Okay, I think I got it
Carry
back.
it. If the students heard what we said, oh my gosh.
Hindi naman yata narinig.
Okay, we're live. We're back. We hope that we weren't able to hear what we said in the last 30 seconds.
Josh was
your,
being sketchy.
your videos. Hang on, let me see if I can restart your
Really?
video.
Baka dapat wag na lang tayo mag-video. Okay lang sa akin, hindi kita yung face ko.
No,
I
see,
can
that's one thing.
I can sacrifice my face. I can just
Pet
talk.
peeve of a teacher.
I like talking.
Not being able to see the student live. Is that a pet peeve for us though? What do you think?
Hang on. Is it Is the stream back? I can't tell
I
from
don't like not seeing. Oh, wait, I can't see.
It's back. It's back.
As in you can see yourself
Yeah.
on YouTube?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, sige.
Now
Yeah,
I
I can
don't.
see.
Hey.
Okay, sige. So okay, if okay, I'll need to upgrade my computer somehow. Headline? Hello? Huh. I think. Okay, how do I do this? I'm not hearing anything. Hang on, let me disconnect from the call again and then rejoin. Okay, hopefully this will fix it.
Are you going to introduce Stormy in the video? That would
I
add
was.
like to
Nasa baba siya.
Okay, fine. Let's disable the videos.
Yes!
I can't,
No! Nag-base. I coding.
Naligo din ako actually. Naligo ako
Coding.
for
Yeah.
this.
Like, I only took a bath just
Okay.
right
Even
now.
put on a shirt na panlabas. See, it's Magikarp.
Okay.
I don't know. Before
If
you
it
cut
slows
off the video.
Hang on. If it slows down again, I'll disable the video. And then, Okay, so talking about pet peeves, so pop quizzes, is that what all we're going to talk about?
Well, it's not. Well, no. I think we all agree. Anything that would surprise a student, it's something that we all agree. Something that students don't want. But it's also a thing. It's a tool, kasi, for a teacher to truly gauge um, if the students are ready. Again, when I make a quiz, kayo ba, when you make a quiz, do you want your students to really like study hard? I always make a quiz like how you understand it. That's how it is.
No, I mean, yeah, the idea is it should be stock knowledge. So whatever they remember from the lessons, that's as far as I'll test it.
Ellen, would you like to weigh in on that?
No.
Oh.
Next pet peeve.
Okay, let me sige, personal pet peeve with that I experience and I suppose the students can relate to is yung pag let's go about this na okay, so we talk about the pet peeve and let's try to understand why well, one, why is the student peeved, and the second, why would the teacher maybe give it marang kind of
Justify
reason, not really justify pero provide context to why the teacher would do it.
Sige.
Okay, and I suppose for the quizzes, yun nga, parang the idea behind a surprise quiz is that we want to the goal is to actually, did you actually absorb anything that do you have knowledge that you can call upon anytime? Okay, so ako naman, pag mahirap makontak yung teacher. So,
oh
no, I'm guilty of that. I'm sorry.
Actually, sabihin ko pa lang sana, hi students, that I don't reply to during the weekends. So,
well, I mean, we'll get to that part pagka we'll get to that part pa na dun sa justification or dun sa
or
reasoning.
mornings pala. Mahirap mag-reply in the morning.
So, yeah, a reason why, definitely, I can imagine it's reasonable that the students would be peeved pag the teacher doesn't reply kasi, yun nga, we need help with something, and especially with this online situation, or with what we're normally used to in person, teacher, it's there, you can just raise your hand and then they can answer you, or their office hours, and then you can visit their cubicle, ask for consultation. But now it's just email, and then you're not even sure if they read it, you're not even sure if they see it, so
if they receive na nila or whatever.
There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the sending the message. Kayo?
Although that actually works both ways rin naman. I mean, marami ring students na even if i-email mo constantly, hindi rin naman sasagot agad. I think mahirap rin kasi talaga. Like, sobrang hirap na lagi kang nag-check ng inbox mo. Diba? And then minsan sobrang annoying din kasi na parang may pasok ng message. So may tendency ka na rin na like i-ignore muna siya. Pero paano kung katulad mo, ako na super duper short attention span. So like I see it in the morning and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna reply to this person, and then malilimutan ko. Pero anyway, feeling ko like dapat may justifiable time period before ka mainis na acceptable na like hindi mo na mag-reply yung teacher mo for like a day. Understand mo na lang, diba? Or something. Pag like isang linggo na, edi mag-follow up ka na talaga. So,
I'm so guilty about this. No, kasi I think all my emails, all my communication with the student, it's always an apology from me. I'm so sorry for replying so late. My apologies that I couldn't get back to you again. Like, the worst, I would get the third notification na sir, you haven't replied back. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The thing is, emails. I guess I can relate to the students that feel that emails are more formal and something that you have to be very, very prepared. That's why it takes a lot of energy. Although it shouldn't be. I like replying back on Messenger. It's faster. It's more informal. It's something that it's like it's like seeing each other face to face, the closest to that. But when it comes to email, I feel like the school is watching. Uh, Not like Messenger. Well, Messenger, of course, government's watching. But when it comes to our email, it's like it's threaded. Uh, I feel like
Oh,
Pisay knows how many emojis I use per sentence. That's why when it comes to formal stuff, I feel a bit. I need a lot of preparation to answer. So it's a bad thing on my part, a bad habit. Just said Len.
wala. May naisip akong pet peeve for later. Pero,
Yeah. Anyway, so
So yeah, I understand students would be very much inis akin because of how late I reply. I'm doing better, promise. I am.
okay, but how would you how would you explain yourself na what
I got
would
sick.
be
I got sick from school. Then,
it's, ako feeling ko for me, mahirap lang talaga siya in general. Like, and ako, sige, magsasample ako ng ibang teacher who shall remain anonymous. Pero yung inbox kasi niya has like over 6,000.
Oh, that's me. Why are you saying
No, it's not you. Pero as in,
really?
diba, imagine mo yun, kung like even emails ng other people, ganyan, naka-CC siya constantly on everything, diba? When it's turn na, pag may email na talaga that's actually directly para sa kanya, edi, para niya malalaman na important, diba? Inatabunan na nga ng sobrang dami. So feeling ko, mahirap, kailangan lang talaga natin ma-understand ang each other na mahirap siya talaga mag-reply. So, ayun.
It is. If students feel like no, now I'm not creating a divide between students and teachers, but if students feel like it's hard to contact 10 teachers at a time, it's kind of hard for teachers to contact 200 plus students at a time also. But it's not us justifying it because later on, students will learn how to expand communication skills as well to contact more students, more recipients as well. But yun nga, to put it into context, uh, there are priorities in my inbox na may priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, DEFCON 1, DEFCON 2, DEFCON 3, and so on and so forth.
okay.
It's hard. Yeah, I agree with Ellen. It's very, very hard. It's understand, but we hope that you could understand na lang. So, yun na lang.
Baka kasi guilty tayo. Pero hindi, nakakainis din kasi talaga siya pag hindi nag-reply yung other people. Pero, whatever. So, ayan.
Okay, quick question before the video is really choppy on my computer, which results in a choppy video on stream. Do you guys want to continue with the
Did
video?
I hang?
No, it's the fault of hindi niya kaya yung Discord, sabay YouTube, sabay OBS, sabay ano. So, should I...
Did I hang?
I mean,
Is it me?
the picture is the picture is lagging.
Is it you?
No, I mean my picture is coming in smoothly. The problem kasi is the problem kasi is
Who's the
Discord.
teacher who forgot to plug in his laptop during a meeting? Me. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, do you guys are
So,
you guys okay
in the
no,
middle of a call?
No, it's still on. It's just are you guys okay with being like 30 10 FPS in your in the YouTube video? Hang on, wala si Joshua. Josh, you there? Hello? Ellen? Uh-oh. Hello? Where'd Joshua go? Joshua?
Hello.
Ayun.
Hi?
Okay, so just to
What
clarify,
happened?
I don't know. I got the. Is Mark
um,
still there?
yeah.
Don't touch that.
Hello, you hear me? Hello,
Is Mark still there?
hello, do you hear me? Yes, I'm here. Hang on. Thanks. For those watching the stream, apologize for the technical difficulties. Let me just try to fix it really quick. Hello.
Yes. Are you there
Okay.
again?
So I was just asking,
Hello?
are you
Hello?
guys okay na
Can
being
anyone hear me? Can't
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you.
we hear you. Hello.
I can hear you.
You know what?
Hi.
I'm just going to remove your videos kasi
Okay.
nawala si Joshua.
Oo nga eh.
Is that is
So,
that is that my connection? I don't think it's my connection.
I think it's his. So, pwede na ba ako mag-camera off?
Yeah, sige. Let me just switch to ano. So I'll just use your audio na ano.
Ah, okay.
So sorry to chat. Mukha ko lang makita niyo. Josh, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm so sorry.
Donate now to help Sir upgrade his PC setup.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
It wasn't me. I just read it on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw it also. But who's the eh, who's the fail teacher that forgot to plug in the laptop? I'm so sorry. Anyway,
That happens to you a lot.
I forgot to do this with the new setup because the old setup it was facing my bedroom, which I don't like showing because the students get to know how fast I get from my workspace to my bed in just a matter of seconds. That's why I don't get much work done. But hopefully, with this setup, which looks so professional,
Okay, sige, let's get back to ano. Okay, so I've just ano, so you guys know, I've removed ano, Ma'am Edlen's video, and hope that will reduce the load on the PC.
But I'm still here.
Yeah. They can see your icon.
Oh, okay. It's Stormy, but they can't see it kasi it's putol. Why is it putol?
Is it?
I don't know. I can't see it on YouTube.
Actually, hang on. Let me, sige. Just to,
Okay lang. It doesn't matter. Okay lang. Let's just talk.
Okay, so, sige. Other pet peeves that you want to talk about as a student? Edlan, you
As
had
a
one.
student? No. It was as a teacher eh. Kaya nga sabi ko for later na yung akin.
Okay. Josh, you have anything?
as a student, no eh. I'm pretty much
Sige. Ako as a student, ayoko ng yung sobrang labo ng instructions. Tapos
oh
pag
my gosh.
nagtatanong ka, as in matino ka naman magtanong, pero pag sasagot sila, parang just read the instructions. Parang hello, I wouldn't be asking
Okay.
if I could understand it, 'di ba? So, ayun. Pero again, kailangan lang intindihin na baka naman hindi lang rin niya naintindihan yung tanong ko or whatever. Pero, ayun.
Why is all Mom Edlen's pet peeves directed at me? Like
It's not my fault it's not my fault na natatamaan ka, excuse me.
No, but in fairness, I do give out not vague and mysterious instructions, but instructions that in my head works, but I don't realize na it might be vague for the students. But
Like,
I'm not like
hindi,
that.
okay lang yung
na-
vague in the sense na may room for, na kunyari, may pinapagawa ka, tapos may room for like creativity or their own
yeah.
thing. Ang mahirap is yung hindi talaga nakaspecify na, basta wala akong maisip na example right now, pero naalala ko nung nagmamasters ako recently, asar ako dun sa instruction ng isa kong teacher. Tapos nagtatanong ako. Tapos sabi niya, just read it again. Parang, what? So, yeah.
That's true. I meant the student wouldn't come forward to the teacher and ask about clarification if it wasn't there to begin with. But it's true. Yeah. I guess it's something for the teachers that they really have to be patient in this scenario to understand why the student had come to you in the first place.
Yeah.
Although there are some students that don't read the instructions
Yeah,
really.
that's true yan. That's a pet peeve of mine also. Like, nakasulat na dun directly, exact wording. And then sometimes, pag nangyayari yun, I like literally just copy-paste the instruction para makita nila where they missed it. Pero, ayun.
Okay, that's probably a good point na we can transfer over now to the other half of the talk, which is teacher pet peeves. So chat, this especially where you can kind of contribute kasi we're going to talk from the teacher's perspective about things that annoy us, and ayun nga, parang feel free to give your side of things. Okay, so
Students kissing in class.
ano yun?
What?
Students kissing in class. Pet peeve.
That happens
Did
to
you
you?
say, did you say what? Kissing?
No. Did I ever catch a student kissing? Not in during class.
I was just gonna say, ang intense nung in class ha, sobrang lakas ng loob nila. Walang magawa. Hindi kayang mag-keep their hands to themselves. My gosh, nakaka-scandalize.
Speaking of scandalous,
No,
well, they were
I'm talking about,
scandalous.
what?
No, it's just wala lang. I just remember that Sir Tarcy's Mark's section, Strontium was able to produce the most couples in their batch. If I
Really?
remember correctly. Yeah, it was surprising. And I thought it was like not naman concern.
As in within the section mismo, hindi
Yeah. Mm.
generally.
Now it's not pet
Fascinating.
peeves.
Did you approve, Mark? Doon muna tayo sa topic na yun. How did you feel about all the relationships? Are they Mark approved or?
I mean, it's not really any of my business, so
Hindi,
As long
pero
as they're-
syempre,
Oh,
as a teacher, wala ba kayong mga ship na student?
not really. Honestly,
Seriously?
I don't really.
I had the chart back then.
I don't get involved. Parang it's their personal life. So I mean, as long
No,
as
that's the
they're appropriate, then
Okay. Well, it's fair enough.
Okay, sige. Ayun.
So that's Sir Tarcy approving of the Strontium couples back then.
Okay, anyway, so
Happy.
ano yun?
Pet peeve of a teacher. So you weren't peeved off na you noticed your students touchy-feely during class?
Why would they be touchy-feely during class? Tas
Wait.
stress talaga ako dun sa thought na during class.
I mean, you already said kissing, and now you're going to
Ganon! Merong mga ganon. Kasi syempre,
Yeah, meron. Meron niya in class. Not kissing, but more of a lot of hugs during group activity. That don't forget the activity. It's not a pet peeve, but it's distracting, I guess. For me, not that
So
not that I notice a lot. Did I call them out? Oh, I guess I didn't. Like Sir Tarcy, did I also approve of it? I couldn't say anything. It's not like I could do anything.
I mean, you can call them out. I remember there was one couple na sabi ko walang landian sa lab, and then they stopped.
See, the fact that you had to say it means to say it did happen. Oh, salam. Okay.
Anyway, can we move on to other kinds of that's still in the same category.
Okay. Different kind of pet peeves again.
sige.
Edline, go.
Yung kanina na lang, yung dun
Yeah,
sa
you can
topic
continue.
ng emails. Kasi
Sige, go.
parang minsan may mga students na mag-email multiple times a day, pero multiple emails din siya. Like, kunyari, I reply to their email na, and then they start a new email na parang, hello, ang hirap kayang i-keep track ng ganun kadaming email. Parang hindi pa pwedeng i-thread nyo na lang lahat ng concern nyo or something. So, ayun. So, parang once nag-reply ako, they consider that email closed and then they start a new one. So, I don't know. Ayun.
Maybe that's their organization style.
Oh, sige. Di ko sa nila. Sige, basta good for them. Be organized on their part. Paano naman ako?
That is true. Are you are you brave enough to show a
No, of course
screenshot of
not.
of your email?
I mean, I can't even
Of
show.
course not.
I can't even show your faces anyway. I can't even.
Oh,
So that's not going to happen. So, but sige,
yeah.
just
I guess
to justify the student side of things, parang I suppose I can, or rather the teacher side of things. Parang, kasi kanina we're justifying the students, or we're just no, sorry, we're justifying the students,
You're
teachers earlier.
justifying the teachers.
So now we justify the students na yun nga, it's possibly a way na maybe that's the way they organize na
Yeah.
Pero to explain the why it is a P for teacher, yun nga, parang again keep in mind that teachers have 150 students that include plus emails from colleagues, from admin and all of these other things. So I already have so many unread emails that I'm trying to fix, pero parang it takes an entire day to do so, and by then may pumasok na bagong 30 emails. So yeah, I mean, try to understand why teachers are. This can be a P for students. Let's see, okay, my turn.
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay, so I mentioned this in a previous stream, pero the extension thing. Again, I'm all for extensions, especially during this time of pandemic. Parang if you need more time to work on it, definitely, I'll give you more time to work on it. It becomes a problem when you tell me that you need an extension after the deadline. So, because, I mean, yeah, parang you could have told it to me before. Parang I remember this. Is there? I hope. I'm hoping they're not. No, they're probably watching, but I'll try to keep it vague. I remember kasi there was one time I really got, and I told the students about the fact that I got annoyed because I remember I announced my project like 3 weeks ahead, basically almost the middle of the quarter even, and told them this deadline 1 week before the finals week so that they had more, it wouldn't be at the same time as their other requirements. So when the deadline comes up, they start telling me, sir, can we have an extension? Kasi marami ginagawa. Okay, fine. I didn't want to be at the same time as the other subjects, pero sige, let's extend to next week. And then it got extended another week. During the finals, I see a tweet saying, hindi pa ako nagsisimula sa project ng CS. When in fact it was already supposed to be due the week before. So I mean, I've already given the extra time and only to find out that parang it wasn't even spent on CS. Parang
Yeah,
I suppose like a parent giving the kids money to buy to buy pang-ulam tapos biglang mag-uwi ng I don't know, PS5.
Grabe ulam yun.
I can't think of anything.
That's a lot of ulam. Pero
That's unfair. So, you're saying that we have to defend the students in that scenario?
Well, I mean, try to understand.
hindi.
No, but I
sige.
okay. For on my part, I think it's something that there needs to be constant communication about and truthfulness involved. Because the reason why the student asks for it, it's true. It might have been needed. They needed extra more time, not intended for other subjects, but it could be for personal matters as well. Something that we have to understand is they're students. They have personal lives that they live outside of school. They have hobbies that they practice as a person, and so on and so forth.
Bakit si
Although
Mark wala siyang personal life, wala siyang hobbies, hindi siya pwedeng
That's a
hindi
bad
mag-check on time.
that's a bad example though, si Mark. Yan ba, Mark?
Okay, can we
Hey,
can
Mark has
we
hobbies.
can we deviate from this line of questioning and focus on the topic at hand?
But yeah, I do understand that this medyo nakakainis nga. You see on tweets na yung pala nag-genshin lang pala yung student na instead of doing the work, nag-genshin lang pala sila and they ask for extension. Although I do also play Genshin along with them, that's why they might have not submitted on time. But
So I can
um,
blame you.
Oh, it's all your fault pala.
it's not possible. But yeah, siguro they just need to be honest about the things that, and they need to update this teacher a bit more. Not like one whole week extension, blanket period, or a whole month blanket extension, but something that they can constantly update. That's why I ask my students, what deadline would you like to have?
Mm.
In that scenario, they get to determine what they would like to prioritize. Now, if they say 1 month, okay, if it's 1 month, let me know why you need 1 month, and then okay, if that's what you need, or if there's something that I can help you to make it shorter, maybe you can work on that as well. So it's not something that I know it's beyond of what's expected of us as teachers. I don't think so, but wala akong ma-add. Yeah, it's kind of beyond already, but it's
Mm.
something that we can try to understand where they're from. Because can we still relate to students nowadays? What would you say? Are we at that age already?
I mean, uh, sorry, I'm distracted by your video froze, Josh, and yung
Oh,
mukha mo,
really?
yung mukha mo in the. Alan, do you see it?
Oh, it's
No, I can't. Wait, I'll check.
scary. Yeah, it looks scary. I see
Okay,
it.
there. Okay. So, ako naman, trying to explain the student side of things kasi we talked about, we talked about uh, organizing, prioritizing, and definitely one of the things that the student has to juggle among those is mental health. So I can understand, sige, change the example of the, so if you give, for example, I remember this research or study that was made, and they were trying to help farmers invest in better tools for farming, but they would spend it on necessities, on food, on all these other things. And I think that's the way that students are treating their time now, in the sense that
Wait,
time
was
is a
that
precious.
it? I felt like there was a follow through with that.
Hindi, yun nga, na parang time is the commodity, and
Or
they're
was I disconnected?
and anyway, I probably disconnect. So the idea is na yun nga, so these wala ka, Josh. Anyway,
Nawala si
so,
Josh.
so these farmers, they're being given money to invest in better farming tools, but they end up spending it on emergency things. And if it we were to use that analogy for time, so we give these students more time, but they end up using it for what they might think are more urgent requirements.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's annoying that.
Ako kasi,
Sige.
whenever I think of that, I always just think na, like, tinatanggap ko na lang talaga na CS isn't really a priority kasi talaga. So, parang it's not a subject that other people would consider quote-unquote major as compared to the other sciences, diba? Or even the humanities, actually. So, parang
Yeah.
feeling ko sa totoo lang, mas nag-rank higher pa ang English and Filipino compared to comsci. So, I
Agreed.
guess, pag gano'n nangyayari, iniisip ko na lang na, sige, at least nabigyan ko sila ng time for other stuff. Ang annoying lang for me is yung pag flaunt na nila na, uy, wala pa akong nagagawa. Na parang, hindi ko na kailangan malaman yan. Like, 'di ba? So, parang sana lang magets nila na, yeah, we gave you time. And i-appreciate nyo na lang yung time na nabigay. Kaysa naman yung i-announce nyo pa na, oh, I haven't done anything yet. Kasi, well, ayun, medyo
Is it a flex thing nowadays? Like,
hindi naman,
it's
hindi
something
naman.
I noticed.
Actually, I think hindi naman nila sinasadya eh. Hindi naman siya sinasadya in the first place. So,
It just so happens na nakita natin.
Yeah, kasi diba, everybody just voices out things. So, it's bound to, slip out or whatever. Pero wala lang. Sana lang mas conscious.
To protect the feelings of your teachers, make sure you block them on Twitter. Wag naman. Actually, that's why we kind of add you guys on Twitter, or we want to see you who
No,
you
that's
really are
not
on
it.
Twitter.
That's not it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do
I
that.
do. I kind of like seeing them what what their lives is on Twitter, and something that I can interject in my lessons. But yun.
Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Edlen, sorry, we're back to Joshua. Joshua, do you have anything else that you'd like to know?
Pet peeve. Another pet peeve. Against students. Oh yeah. Students that aren't honest. Students that aren't honest. Because
Aren't okay.
I always.
Oo nga, sabi ko sana, why?
That are honest, yun lang. Yun lang. Kasi like, I always try to give my students the benefit of the doubt. I try to give my students as much as leeway as they can to prepare. And all I ask from them is what they can do in what they have. They don't have to show me their best, honestly. But sometimes some students feel like they have to show their best. That's why they choose to do dishonest means.
Paano siya naging best? Ano, hindi ko na-gets. Ano?
Hindi, parang for example, hypothetical na you're giving a long test, so nag-absent siya just to nagkunwari may sakit to so that he can study more.
Oh yeah, something like that. Pwede din yun. So for me, as long as the student is honest, that's something that I would always value. But if the moment that they're dishonest with me, it kind of breaks the image. Yeah. Biggest pet peeve, I guess. Especially nung nakita ko yung my long test on a soft copy during the black market days 2 years ago. That was scary.
Eden, you have more?
Yeah. Sorry.
Joshua's gone again. What's Joshua doing? Anyway.
Makapangit internet nila.
Yeah, probably. And then you have
no, I can't really think of anything. Everything else now seems shallow compared to the truth thing.
Was that
baka sabihin nila, ang bababaw naman ito si Ma'am Edlen.
Let's see. Do I have anything else? I mean, let's see.
Oh, actually, 50. The students that don't treat the truth excellence service, they don't justify the truth excellence. They don't give it justice as much as they should. It's like they make it like a joke or a meme, when in fact it's something that I feel it's something that they really have to stand by, regardless of what happens. Like if something bad happens, it's the more that they have to stand by the 3 words.
That's a pet peeve. Parang
ang lalim bukan niya di ba?
I mean, I was going to follow up with things like
ako ang mga naiisip ko kasi are like things that mga maikling email noted with thanks. Yung mga ganong parang weird sounding
Actually,
stuff.
ako din Parang yun din yung follow up ko ng ganon.
Tapos ikaw, values ang gusto mong pag-usapan.
No, wait. So it's hard na inisin niyo ako pala, apparently.
Whatever, you're such a scammer.
I'm so sorry.
I don't believe you.
No, really.
I'll believe it kasi parang he's ganun kataas yung niya parang yung leeway niya for students.
Oh my God.
So parang you can imagine na parang he's not as annoyed with those small things na parang basta mag-submit lang yung student, okay na siya.
Then that means lang na pag na-annoy siya sa inyo, may mali ka na talagang ginawa.
That's true.
Oh yeah, really much.
Sige, and then tayo I suppose the two of us yung mga email na sige, let's lower the level a bit.
Sige.
Yung mga email na parang super diretso lang or attachment lang, di ba? Parang
oh my gosh, yung wala man lang subject line. Yan yung mga malala rin for me. Tapos minsan wala man lang, hi ma'am. Parang, okay, anong gagawin ko dito, di ba?
Have you ever gotten email na attachment lang?
No. Ako hindi pa naman. Pero yun nga, yung mga walang subject, yun yung malala.
Ako, I've gotten subject and attachment lang, walang body. So, yun
Oh
yun.
yeah, I've gotten that na rin. Medyo parang, meron nga ba? Parang meron.
Anyway, and just for the chat na who's watching, just to explain why it's and to sort of justify them na why it's happening. I think it's kasi nga school nowadays is very impersonal. Parang it feels like we're interacting with an LMS rather than actual people. We submit files and we inform na so it's hard to see the person behind the email. Pero if you were to imagine, so for those students who are watching or who will watch this, try to imagine if we were still in person. This is the equivalent of showing up to the faculty room. The teacher's there. You don't say anything. You drop your project and then you leave. So parang that's the equivalent. So try to we're all I personally I think the biggest struggle in the current distance learning is the depersonalization of everyone, students, staff, teachers. So we do have to make the effort, I think, to really okay, so if I were to receive an email like this, or if this were an in-person interaction, would I actually do it this way?
Yeah, that's true. It's very, very true. So, pro tip for our students out there: if you want to make sure your message is personal, that can reach out to your teacher, make sure before you hit that send button, before you send that mail, stare at the picture of your teacher for 5 minutes.
No, that's weird.
5 minutes. That's a lot of. No, don't do that.
And is this something that you would say to that teacher in person?
I'm imagining a cork board of the teachers' faces.
You can just think. You can just use your imagination, Joshua.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, try to.
Tama yun yung point. Na dapat you should think, are you gonna say this in real life? And then if tingin mo hindi mo siya sabihin in real life, then there's probably then probably can change something with your email.
2 minutes. Stare at your teacher for 2 minutes.
Hindi talaga.
No.
Hindi talaga. So pag maliit sila ng submission, I'm sorry ma'am, I was staring at your face for the last 5 minutes. Diba?
Honestly, 30 seconds is already too long.
It's weird enough already. But I do miss that.
You told me to look at your face.
I do miss that in the faculty, the small faculty. Although, I think it's a bad thing on my part kasi kinikwento ko to yung student, the moment that they call me, magsasubmit daw, it's suddenly magkukwento ko na naging 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes long when in fact, they only needed to drop off something with me. So,
I mean, that's a different problem.
Iba naman yun eh, face-to-face na yun.
And, hello?
Yun eh. Saka, I'm pretty sure ikaw na yung nag-initiate ng conversation dun.
Smart ka?
Mark?
No, my screen froze for a bit and Joshua's face was frozen again.
Si, buti na lang in-off mo yung camera ko, hindi ko matitake kung nag-freeze yung mukha ko all the time.
Okay, let's see. Anything else that you want to know? Pet peeves about students?
Honestly, I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
I have one.
How deep is it?
It's not deep.
Okay.
It's not deep. Let's just say to your teacher passing by. It's something it's not something I look forward to. Na nakatitig na ako na mag-hi ba siya. No, but it's more of it are things that I heard from other teachers na to the point na mabubunggo na yung teacher without noticing the teachers that's there or so on and so forth. So maybe just to say hi to your teacher. We're not that scary, I think, in person outside of the classroom. Are we scary? I'm not sure.
Some are.
So how would we justify that? There are teachers that are scary. That's why.
I mean, let's just try to say that teachers aren't trying to be scary on purpose. Yun yung let's see. It's 9:27. You guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Also, kasi I get the feeling that I need to figure something out to make Discord better on these things. I mean, can we use? I'll need to check yung how much memory or how much memory Discord uses, and maybe we can just use
So
something else.
donate to Gcash account number 0917.
No. Okay.
Sir Tarcy accepts Alienware.
No.
Alienware, Ryzen, Predator.
You're just
So, yeah.
you're just naming random. You have no idea what the specs of those are, do you?
No. As long as it can run games, I'm happy with it.
Okay, sige. I think that'll do for now. So sorry for I'm talking to chat now. Just alright. So sorry for the technical difficulties in the stream. I'll try to see if I can make things smoother for next time. Hopefully we'll have another guest if I can manage to fix things. Maybe we'll have a student this time, or at least an alumni. In which case, just hopefully you'll join us for next week, and hope you have a good evening. Say bye, guys.
Bye. 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 Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you everyone for coming.